So yeah, we're back. So yeah, Black Butler Season 4. I like this. So you might be asking, what do I like with this specifically? It's simple. And it is actually pretty simple. I like the idea. So I've said this before of like sometimes having mysteries where magic exists. I've said it as a film idea being like, Joe would be fun having a mystery where like magic and you're trying to solve what magic is. And you do have some of that. You, I think, have a literal Grim Reaper as Jack the Ripper. There's more to it, but that's not the details. But some of the stuff in this I think is interesting when you're trying to learn about how it works. All of this stuff. When you learn about all of the characters and the connection, you also have the past coming back because the main character has a troubling past, and because of the situation he's in, he's put in this sort of like fear state, which at some point gets sort of resolved, which is interesting. And I like. But it shows how much he sort of puts on a front, in a way. But the one thing that's interesting... Actually, I'm going to quickly say that later on, I'm not going to say which character, but they do a whole thing about like how old-fashioned society works. And obviously, I don't need to worry about that. One, because there's a couple of these don't exist. Besides the folks, I knew a lot about that stuff because my dad plays golf. And you would be surprised how much time you have to be like having forks. Not to the point that you do in the old-fashioned days where you have like 3 forks, but you definitely have starters, mains, desserts as a thing. In the old-fashioned times, you had like 5 forks each side. I'm like, yeah, no, I'm not dealing with this. Be that. In my opinion, there should be 1, 2 forks, 1 knife, 1 fork, maybe a spoon for dessert. I don't know why I have like 10 cutlery on my plate. But yeah, that's just a small fun thing. But yeah, one main twist to this, and this is what I like. You have a world where Grim Reapers, the devil, the literal reason for all of this happening being a sacrifice, etc., etc. You have had characters, had certain things, certain characters having certain powers, and it's amazing. You have one guy who literally, physically, supposedly transforms, and one of the, I was like, oh, by the way, magic exists. I said, no, it doesn't. This is all fake. It does not exist. It's not real. It's kind of, and also, yes, she is the character I'm speaking of, but I didn't want to speak too much of it. It's kind of interesting that one of the things that we have is essentially, yeah, we have demons, we have all of this stuff. Yeah, but witchcraft? Nah, doesn't exist. It's like, you get a sort of genius, which I think is sort of meant to be like Einstein level genius. I also would like to point out, this did not exist back then. This concept did not exist. I think the thing that I'm referring to existed because this is Victorian. You can see Queen Victoria, etc., etc. There is, I think, an inaccuracy, because I think when they go to the place and meet the thing, they're wearing sort of like a formal, posh dress, when in reality, at a certain point, morning dresses became popular by Queen Victoria, and a lot of people who sometimes met Queen Victoria would wear morning dress. But if you want to actually legitimately have a character with a little bit more than just black as an aesthetic, which I wear this whole thing and I have a lot of dark colours, I get it. It's not like that would be, I think, for Queen Victoria, kind of doesn't track because her husband's dead, so it kind of makes sense. But obviously there's certain things about when this takes place. Canonically, it is very confusing. I don't fully get it. Because there's some things where some series take place about some others. Like, I thought there was a season where he fully became a demon. Yet they don't talk about that here. But I'm going to just leave that because it seems like it might. I don't know if it's out of order. It could be. It very much feels like it is. And for some smaller arcs that take place fully out of the anime, I think I'm talking about my favourite episodes, the literal one where you have a point of view and a veteran assassin, and I like it. It's my favourite episode. But one of the things throughout all of this I like is that they fully just debunk it. It is a chemical warfare. It is chemistry. She comes back, and even though she has the choice, she does work for the UK for this thing, which I do think is interesting. And kind of parallels what we have, because some of the Germans, this is before World War II, like I pointed out before. Again, this is sort of a thing where, because this is taking place in Germany, and they point out the First World War, which hasn't happened yet, again, this is the early like 1900s, which is roughly, I think, like 1870 to 1880, I don't know, roughly that time period of still Victorian era. And obviously the First World War is 1940 to 1918. The Second World War, which is 1939 to 1945, which at that point we did take some of the scientists to make some stuff, including the nuclear, including some stuff I think to do with space travel and nuclear engineering to do with the nuclear bomb, but I'm not too sure about that. But yeah, it's a fun anime, it's a fun series, and definitely worth watching. So yeah, a little bit of confusion on this, because I was originally about to do the one on Amazon Prime. I knew this was a thing, but I didn't. I was like, oh yeah, Prime. And then I thought it was going to be a reboot. It's not a reboot, it is just a sequel. So, here's the original. Probably should have done that before the sequel. I haven't actually watched the sequel one yet. But yeah, I hope you enjoyed, and good night.